With Chesapeake Bay gleaming in the distance, we are inside M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore, Maryland. Here's the scene a short time ago. The Ravens introduced to this sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Kansas City Chiefs. Taken about 7 yards deep, and he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. Jackson on first down. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. A bad start there. A big loss on their first play from scrimmage. It's second down.
We talked about prior to the game, and it played out right there on the first play, didn't it? This offensive line is going to have his hands full all night long.
Now, you often speak of scripts to start a game. Does this mean that play number 2, they're going to go off the script a little bit?
Yeah, what's interesting is that most people, when they script now, they actually script those contingencies in, okay, in case they can't run the play they want to. It's long distance now. Let's go to that play.
It's brought in here by Willie Snead. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down. From the gun, Jackson. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Chris Jones coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Tyreek Hill back deep for Kansas City. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Maryland 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And the Chiefs will have excellent field position here as they take over. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The tackle credited to Deshaun Elliott, the safety.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a third down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
They'll need to get this to the 38. That's where the first down marker is here on third. Shotgun snap to Mahomes. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And the last drive, their first drive, 3 and out. What changes here, if anything?
I think it's making sure the guys that you trust the most with the ball, the biggest playmakers you have, that they touch it on this possession to try and get things moving.
So get it to the horses.
Without a doubt. They're the ones that typically end up in the end zone.
2 yards on the pickup.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front, because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
From the 22, Jackson. They go screen. This is Ingram. And they'll They'll take him down at the 31-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still ended up with a solid game.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with J.K. Dobbins. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11 at the 30-yard line.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Miles Boykin. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The catch and run, good for 24 yards.
Barney, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground, how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked up by Juan Thornhill.
Jackson's pass intercepted by the Chiefs.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
On 2nd and 9, Mahomes, and he's got his receiver. That's Sammy Watkins. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. They'll run here with Edwards-Helaire. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line.
Not the kind of gain that we'll go absolutely crazy for, but it's the kind of gain that you need to have when you're running back in the NFL. And Clyde Edwards-Helaire, with that low center of gravity and strength, he's going to get those tough, gritty yards for you when necessary.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They go play action. Now Mahomes. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
Throwing now is Mahomes. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's on Kelechi Osemele, the guard. Now Mahomes on the bootleg, rolling to his right. And his throw here is incomplete. Mecole Hardman, the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down.
As soon as I saw him break contain and get outside, my first thought and my eyes gravitated downfield, because nowadays, most of these quarterbacks, when they do that, they want the big play downfield. They don't want to throw it short. In this case, he took the shot. It fell incomplete.
Mahomes firing complete, and he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
Sammy Watkins is a former first-round pick in the NFL, and he sure reminded us during Kansas City's run to the playoffs last season. 10 catches in the AFC Championship game and a 98-yard receiving game in Super Bowl 54. He did talk about possibly stepping away and getting some time in the offseason, but Kansas City very happy to have him back in their lineup and in their fold.
And a loss of 3 to bring up 4.
That quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the second and the third level.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And in enemy territory last time through the interception. We'll see what they do on this drive.
Can't wait to see how it alters what they decide to do in play calling. Do they continue to throw the ball? Do they want to lean more on the running game? It'll be an interesting sequence of plays that they've got coming up.
Does it often affect the play calling with the interception? How much does that change what you do?
I think it does depending on why the interception was thrown. Sometimes it's just a matter of the defense made a great play, so you continue to come back. But if it's on you, if the offense just doesn't have the confidence, if they're a little bit shaky, maybe try and take the pressure off and run the ball a little bit.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. Jackson going to get this out to Brown. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. They'll contain him to just 4. Second down.
It's now 2nd and 6 at their 49-yard line.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. And he'll take it across the 50 and into Chief territory. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. And he is going to go down. He will be sacked on the final play of this first quarter. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports.
On the punt for the Ravens.
.46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. And that ball's going to angle out at the 3-yard line. A beauty. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So a poor return exacerbated by a holding call makes this 1st and 10 back inside their own 5. In his own end zone, it's Mahomes. And this one caught by Travis Kelce. And they're going to get this all the way out past the 20. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down.
I know it's a little bit of a cliche to talk about all the tight ends who are really wide receivers in the NFL, but Travis Kelce fits that perfectly. He led all tight ends last season with over 1,200 yards receiving, 4th in the NFL. I think he's one of the gold standards in the league for the tight end position, and I don't know if anyone has any more fun playing the game than Travis Kelce.
16 more on that one and another 1st down.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Complete, the tight end Kelce. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. A gain of 6 there on 1st. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 2nd down, a run with Edwards-Helaire. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Mahomes now on first down. And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete. His favorite target, Travis Kelce, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up second down.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Mahomes. And going deep for Hill. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Love the idea, love the concept, but you got to leave a little room on the sideline so he can fade into it when he makes the catch. That was thrown too close to it for the receiver to make a play.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. And Robinson with a big catch. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And again, it's Mahomes. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
And that's one of those plays where it's hard to keep 2 eyes on the football when you know the contact's coming, let alone getting 2 hands around it, hugging it to your body, and absorbing the hit. Even for those big tight ends who you would think could absorb that contact.
Mahomes again here on 2nd and 10. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Demarcus Robinson, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Chiefs are able to extend their lead. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions, and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go. Look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Butker on to kick it away. Taken about 7 yards deep. And more, he's going to sit on this one, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked
so
something
well,
else. And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, that one was all about the defender making life difficult for the receiver. Very tough for a guy to hold on to the football through all that contact. He ends up forcing the incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Jackson from the shotgun. That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. Over the middle here to Brown. And this will set them up nicely deep down in KC territory. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half, now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They go play action with Jackson. Trying for Brown, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Bashaud Breeland. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. You don't see this often. A quarterback of his caliber, 2 first-half interceptions.
It's absolutely surprising because it happens so rarely. You're searching for what reason, what's going on out there. It's not just maybe the defense is playing well. Is this horoscope off? Is biorhythms? What is it?
You went horoscope on us, David.
Well, I was thinking maybe REM sleep was off. I'm trying to come up with something.
Anything, right? That hold coming from the middle of the line, the center.
And it's difficult for him because sometimes you've got people right over you, and as soon as you snap it, trying to get your hands up and block them, you can be a little bit late getting it done.
Working from the gun, Mahomes taking a deep shot here for Hardman. It's caught inside the 25. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Now, I know it's an emotional game, Charles. You can't do that.
And when you get into your film sessions and you argue your case with your coaches, that's exactly what they say at the end. You just can't do it. It costs your team.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. And that's caught. It's Kelsey. Touchdown, Kansas City. Travis Kelsey, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs are able to grow their lead.
All-pro tight end Travis Kelsey had 97 catches last year in the regular season on his way to a Super Bowl title with Kansas City. And while he's a weapon anywhere on the field, as you get closer to the end zone, you really have to look out. Witness what he did in the playoffs. 3 touchdown catches against Houston in the divisional round, and a big one in the Super Bowl against San Francisco, which keyed Kansas City's comeback.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. On 2nd and 9, Jackson. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
The Ravens on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun, Jackson. Oh, and for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked off here. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is going to kick out of bounds. Boy, a fortunate bounce or 2 there. They'll keep possession back inside the 10-yard line. Suddenly, it's 1st and goal after the interception. A quick change in the situation here. They'll run with Edwards-Helaire. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
And Brad, they went to a nickel defense, and that's a surprise this close to the goal line. Because ordinarily you use the back end of the end zone, the sidelines as extra defenders, and you want bigger people on the field to try and help against the run.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Sam's going to throw to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Travis Kelce, the Pro Bowl tight end, the intended target. But now it's 3rd and goal.
And that's a nice job there because you've got to play the ball, not the man when in coverage. That'll keep you away from a lot of needless penalties, and he's able to knock that one away.
Well, let's see where they turn on 3rd and goal from the ball. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, his 2nd touchdown on the season, and the Chiefs add on to their lead.
Well, they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Taken in the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3 and out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half. Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either. Now Jackson on 1st down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. When you run in the slant, timing is everything. And against that man coverage, there was no space available. And incompletion as a result. Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 29. Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
Brings up 3rd down and 12.
The Ravens on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12. From the gun, Jackson. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And it's Chiefs football, 1st and 10.
37-yard line.
The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again. And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a pickup of 3.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They'll run. It's Edwards-Helaire. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10. 2 minutes remaining in this 1st half of football. A reminder coming up just a few minutes from now. We'll send you to Jonathan Coachman and our crew in Orlando. Coach will have a look back at some of the stats and scores from yesterday's action. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game. No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. And this winds up a gain of 4 to the 41. So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad, because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier, but shut him down otherwise. Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. And it's complete to Kelce. And he will have a Chiefs 1st down, and he's going to have it by plenty. Able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 2. As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the 1st down there.
But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
And they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line.
Yards on the pickup.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Edwards-Helaire, they'll try to run for it. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They'll give him a yard on the play, and the Chiefs are going to get a fresh set of downs.
First down, Chiefs.
Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. Taken about 7 yards deep. And Hardman going to go ahead and sit on this one as it'll come out to the 25. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
It's second and inches. At the 30.
Still a few inches short of a first down as they come up now on second down. Here's Edwards-Helaire. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
On first down, Mahomes. That's who is running back, Edwards-Helaire. Not much there, only a yard.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Now a carry for Edwards-Helaire. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third. Now here's Mahomes. Looking for Kelsey on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
And that one hits at the 7, but bounds into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. It's Mark Ingram. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. A gain of 13. It's a first down.
And he wants to make the most of every carry because he competes with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson, 4 carries and yardage. But Mark Ingram, over 1,000 yards last season. And then the Ravens went out and drafted J.K. Dobbins out of Ohio State in the 2nd round. So now the Ravens potentially have 2 guys to pair with Lamar Jackson in the run game. Wishbone formation, anyone?
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
Well, I think after that run, the defense getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
On 2nd down and 4, Jackson forced out to his left. And he's going to lose a yard or 2, taken down behind the line. That's number 4, sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie. And that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
So now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about. And you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent. And that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. They'll indeed go for it with Jackson. And this is incomplete. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position.
Turnover on downs.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Now Edwards-Helaire, and he's going to have just a couple here with a marker on the field as well. So that one will be accepted.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Calais Campbell on the stop. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
He'll find his running back, Edwards-Helaire. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain seems short of the marker, and it's 4th down.
I think that we all figured when he caught it that short of the marker that the defense almost relaxed and said, we got this covered. And then all of a sudden, there's space to run after the catch. And now they're screaming, somebody get him down. Fortunately, they got to him and forced the 4th down.
So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
And more. He's going to sit on this one, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. See if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. They still need about the length of the football here, maybe a little less as they come up on 2nd and inches. Now an option play on 2nd down. And he's going to have a Ravens first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line. On that last run, he's now hit the 6,000-yard mark for rushing yards in his career.
And moves him squarely into the top 100 rushers of all time. In fact, he can boast that he's rushed for over 1,000 yards more than Gale Sayers did in his career. And Gale Sayers was a Hall of Famer in a short career.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
No gain on the play.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Jackson going right side here, and that's complete. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
They'll fake the give to Ingram. Now Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Similar to a shooter in basketball, just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
This is out quickly to the right. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Well, that's one of the drawbacks of running the RPO. If those linemen go into run block mode, you can't throw it if they're more than a yard downfield. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. The big money man, Chris Jones, getting in there to bring him to the ground. I guess they figure they got to start taking some chances. Here's a big one in this 3rd quarter as he'll go for it on 4th down. Now on 4th down here, that pass knocked away and incomplete.
With the score, Chiefs.
The Chiefs in good position to start out as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this fourth quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Mahomes picked by his ex-teammate Marcus Peters. Well, they get a fourth quarter pick. A little something to hang their hat on, I guess.
Okay, so let's face it, though. Who's happy about this play? Fantasy guys, right?
Yeah.
The analytics will tell you one thing or another. That's a bad play on one hand, a good play on the other, but it's all about the fantasy points here.
Yeah, because this ball game is over. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. A short throw caught by Andrews. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5.
Good catch there by Mark Andrews, who was Lamar Jackson's favorite target last year. They came in the same draft class and quickly got in sync with each other. Andrews led the team in receptions with 64 last year for 852 yards en route to his first Pro Bowl.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. And that will be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. And it is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th. And we've seen him do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And his crew will take over at their own 45-yard line. Well, they're not making it easy on themselves here down the stretch. 2 picks now in the fourth quarter trying to hang on to that lead.
Talk about keeping someone in the game. Instead of being able to shut the door, it's still cracked open because they can come back on you now. Why people are really happy about those picks? Any fantasy team that has this defense.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards.
46-yard line.
They go play action now. Jackson escaping the pressure right. He's going deep for Brown. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Marquise Brown, 46 yards. And the Ravens turn that interception into a touchdown. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Tucker with the extra point, and that'll cut the lead down now to 22.
Ravens 7. Justin Tucker to kick off for Baltimore.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken about 7 yards deep. And bring this out to the 25. No return there for Hardman. The Chiefs offense about set to begin this drive. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think that might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah,